This is just I don't even know what to call this series. Maybe I'll call it like a fly on the wall, because I want people to just like be involved with like the conversations I have with like some of the people in my circle, the people I'm connected to, and it's like for me, it's I've always had this like, I don't know if anxiety is the word, but I've always had this anxiousness when I'm talking to people and it's not being recorded. Somebody like you, it's like you've been through so much. We done did, a few projects before together, and it's like when I'm talking to certain people, it's like we're talking about things that is like, I'm like, man, I wish people heard this conversation. You know what I mean? Like I feel like somebody could gain something from it. I feel like somebody could actually like use some of the knowledge, some of the, so that's why I always like to have cameras around. So I definitely appreciate you coming through here, being patient with me setting all this up and getting on with time. For the people who don't know, man, like introduce yourself, Keandre. Introduce yourself every season.
I'm Keandre, Mr. Every Season himself, and I'm a barber, Keandre Barber, and I have a brand, a clothing brand. I'm a father. I'm one of them great grimy people that basically what this episode is about, talking about what you go through in overcome it. That's what my brand is about. It is the strength to overcome every struggle and obstacle that come your way in life. So that is what every season is about. And I appreciate you for bringing me out.
Man, no, it's love. I just posted something on my Instagram story today where I was doing a podcast and I was talking about another clothing brand that I was connected through via Track Bar, which is Run the World Clothing. And I was saying how like it's dope how with all of their releases and their drops, they like always have some sort of like educational message behind it. They always have something they're pushing, like some substance. It's like it's not just them just throwing stuff together. And it's cool to see like the stories of real brands that have real stories. With me, like positive energy and good vibes, I just wanted to build a brand through everything that I have. It's like you see it, it's like, okay, like react positively. Whatever you're going through, like respond positively. That's all you can do. Just be positive, be a positive person. Like that's the one secret in life of success, of like switching all your negatives to positives and just like having that mindset where no matter what's going on, like it doesn't matter your circumstances, like you control your situation with how you react positively. And then it's like a brand like your brand, Every Season, it's like same thing. It's like there's a message behind it, you know what I mean? Like it actually means something. It's not just like some phrase where it sounded dope and it's like, okay, and we go push that. Like, no, it actually means something. And I've done a profile video for you before. We've done interview in Atlanta at Trap Bar one time before, so I'm familiar with like the message of it. But I just want to say, like, now that it's been a few years since you've had this brand, literally talk about how like what that means every season, and you've been through some seasons even with the brand. So how has that gone like through every season in the brand?
So basically, for the people who don't know, like I said before, every season is the strength, that little ounce of strength that you got left. It could be a little ounce, however, that strength to overcome every obstacle and struggle that come in your life. And no matter what that is, you can be a single mother, you can be a person playing basketball that got basketball dreams, you can be a entrepreneur, a person that's in college, whatever it is them obstacles that come your way. It's the strength to overcome that. And basically where I got it from is, actually before I had the brand name, I was already selling shirts, and I had a shirt that said, you don't gotta be a dope boy to have money. And that's another saying that I live by, is basically you don't have to do illegal things to make money. You can make you can get rich off doing a legal hustle. So everybody promote the bad hustle. I just want to promote the good hustle. So you don't have to be a dope boy to have money. And I got that from watching ATL one day when I was like first out of high school. I heard T.I. say it to his little brother on y'all know the movie when he was trying to sell dope and all that. He pulled out a knot on him. He was like, he threw it to me. He was like, man, you don't got to be a dope boy to have money. He didn't know where he got that money from. He was like, man, I've been saving this, man. I must be working with our uncle, man. So it's like, that was what I wanted to start off with. And as I was going, it's just like I wanted a brand name that had substance, that matched me. Like, I was going through so many names. I was like motivators. I was like, I couldn't find it. And one day it just hit me. I was just like every season. It's like because no matter what, you gotta keep going every season. It's like you've been through so much, like seasonal, and it's like things change when the for instance, when the weather, when it's raining, a sunny day gotta come after that. It don't just stay raining, but people in their mentality, when they going through the storm, they stuck in the storm, and sometimes you won't make it out. You won't even be able to see the sunny day when it comes because you're stuck in the storm mentally. So I just wanted a brand that promoted people to be motivated and to understand that if you overcome those obstacles and struggles, that you can be successful. You can get to your day.
Yeah, I love that message because even it's like you can even find the joy, passion, dopeness, all that in even the rainy days. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you look at your perspective, it's like, we in California, it's been a drought. It was a drought for a long time. It's like we needed the rain. It's like sometimes you need the rain. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes you grow. And you've been through a lot of rain yourself, a lot of like dark days, a lot of hard times. I wanted you to say a few words about reacting like positively, building this brand, and even going back to like when you were younger, like some of the challenges that you faced. Like, what would you say was the biggest thing that got you through some of the biggest challenges that you've had, like even going back to when you were a lot younger?
Okay. Just to piggyback on what you just said about the rain before I answer that question. Nothing grows without rain. Nothing grows without struggle.
That's real.
So just remember that. And, but to answer your question, I would say having a dream was very important to me, even as a kid. Like I wanted to go to the NBA. I always had. Before I was cutting hair, before I was a barber, before I was an entrepreneur, that's what I did. Like I wanted to play basketball. So even growing up in the streets, even being around some of the roughest environments and being around dope, you name it, being around all that, I never indulged in certain things. I had my little playful things, played in certain stuff, but nothing too serious. I never sold dope. I sold a little weed, but like I said, nothing too serious. I always had a dream. I never wanted to do too much crime because I knew that I could alter my dream of going to the NBA. So I say the main thing as a kid was important to me was having a dream, and that kind of, I feel like, saved my life. Even though I'm not in the NBA or I didn't play college basketball or nothing, but just as far as being a child, having a dream is important, and that's what they take away from a lot of kids. It's like if you grew up in a struggle, you may not have a dream because you're worried about how you got to eat tonight. So it's like that's what another part of the brand. Like I want to motivate people that as long as you hold on to that dream or whatever it is, like every season, get through that struggle, get through that rainy day or whatever it is. It's like I've been through a lot. I've been CPS as a kid, back and forth from my mom to my dad's house. Daddy functioning powderhead. Great father, by the way. You feel me? That's how I know a lot. That's how I have entrepreneur spirit, but that's just things that came with that. My mom, drinking a lot. Shot, fresh out of high school. It's a lot. So it's just like, you just gotta know how to overcome those things mentally and not get sunk into that. Like, a person could get their heart broke and mentally they can get sunk into that or whatever. So it's like, every season can come from that. Mentally getting out of that and getting back to a healthy mindset so that you can be something like that.
That's real, man. I appreciate you sharing that because it's crazy to even fathom some of those challenges and let alone going through all those different challenges. Like that's just, but I like the aspect of keeping a dream in mind and having like an end goal because, I always say like your events plus your reactions, your outcomes. And the only thing you can control in that equation is your reactions. And it's like, even with the whole NBA dream, it's like, if that was the outcome you were going for, you knew that there was certain discipline that you had to take or some certain paths that you had to take. You couldn't do other things that maybe were tempting to other people in your environment, but you knew you couldn't be, a part of that because you had this dream that you wanted to achieve. So like your reactions basically were like being disciplined, being like, staying out of these negative situations, probably practicing all the time, and just staying focused on those things. And it's like, I think that's like such a key aspect, because even if that outcome that you seek doesn't work out in that way, you still are successful in building the discipline and building, like all these different attributes that come from staying focused on that goal. So it's just basically what you're saying is like staying focused on the goal can keep you in a positive state because you're going towards your discipline in that goal. Like anything around you, it doesn't matter. You're reacting because you have that goal in mind.
I'm still chasing that dream. Like not with making it to the NBA, but I'm still trying to make it to the league. And that's being greater in life or whatever. Like, for instance, my story, I'm gonna say my example and then someone else's example. My example, I wanted to go to the NBA, it didn't work out or whatever, and I know I couldn't just go back to the streets or whatever, because it's like, I know the results of that. I'm gamed up about that. So I had to figure out what it is I wanted to do in life. So I ended up, I ain't gonna talk about the whole barber store or whatever, but I ended up becoming a barber, and now I'm an entrepreneur. Barber is an entrepreneur, but I got a clothing brand and I do other things for that. I'm an entrepreneur overall, and now that's the game I'm playing. I'm trying to be successful in life in that area. So it's like the dream is still there. Like I'm still trying to make it in life. So whoever it is, that if you have a dream and something alter it and that specific thing can't happen, all you have to do is redirect that same energy, discipline, and those things you learned in that, and redirect that energy to the next thing that can get you to that level that you want to be to. It may not be the same thing. For instance, like the other example I was gonna say is this guy named Inky Johnson. He played football and he was on his way. He was 4 games away to top pick, was going to the league, no doubt about it. Ended up doing a little tackle, hurting his arm, his whole arm like gone. It's side paralyzed, everything. Couldn't play football no more. So he was mentally down for a second, depressed, not knowing what to do. He redirected that same energy to being a speaker, motivating people. Now he get paid thousands of dollars just to speak. So it's like you just got to redirect that same energy and those things you learned, the discipline and all that, to something else that still gets you to the dream.
Right on top. Is that noise your phone? Yeah. Okay, for sure. No, you good. I just wanted to make sure it was no camera doing something. No, I love that. I love that mindset of like, it's kind of like when I'm in the gym. I got a personal trainer right now. Shout out to my cousin Big Mike. I got a personal trainer right now, and it's like, even when I'm like training by myself and working out at the gym and stuff, every now and then somebody will come up to me and be like, "Oh, what are you training for?" And I always say life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm training for life. Like I'm not, I'm not going to league or doing this or that or doing a marathon or baby, but it really is just training for life. And I love that mentality because it's like, life is a game. Make a game out of it. Make it a. And I think people with the athletic background, people who are involved in sports, like, some people that transition is hard when you don't play anymore, whether it's high school, college, league, professionally, whatever the case is. Sometimes it's hard for people to make that transition out into like, quote unquote, the real world. But I feel like there's a lot of, benefits and parallels you can make from, just having the discipline, the teamwork, the champion mentality, with everything that you're going through. Like, I just think that's like really beneficial for one going through life. So I appreciate you saying that. I think going back to what you're saying about your upbringing and everything that you had to go through, some of the challenges you faced, and then you mentioned being a father. Right now, I've been tapped into the whole concept of like unlearning a lot. We focus so much of our time on like, you're gonna read this new book, you're gonna get this new knowledge, watch these videos, I wanna do this, I wanna do that, I wanna do that. But in order to sometimes make it to that next step, there's a lot that we have to unlearn. There's a lot of things that we gotta like take out of what are in our habits, and the things that I look at it as like me being so focused on like positivity. I feel like one of the main ways to be a more positive person is to like, instead of like always focusing on the positive so much, focus on those negative moments, those moments of like being down. Like, how can I flip those moments and make them like uplifting? How can I look at things differently in those moments? I don't even want to call them negative because I feel like that is even, in itself negative. But those improvement moments, those, You know, like when I was working out in the gym, how come, you know, I was finishing up this rep and I was shaking my head no, and I was saying, I can't do this. How can I change that to like, I can do this, this is good, I'm growing now. You know, like little things in your life, how can you flip them to be in a more positive light? And I feel like that's like key, but a big part of that is like unlearning. So I feel like I just wanted you to speak on, now that you don't even have to speak just on being a father, but I thought that was a good parallel from everything we were saying earlier. Is there an aspect of having to like just unlearn some of the things that you've gone through in your life?
Well, as far as my childhood being a father, my dad was actually a great father. It's like, it's hard to explain, like it's a funny story. It's like, as much trauma as I've been through as a kid, he still was a great father. Like, you feel me? Like, I feel like I didn't lose in the father area, but at the same time, things that he went through as a kid and as an adult, it affected me because like he always had me as an active father. So in the midst of all the struggles he was going through, I was right there. I've seen it and I was in it, and I was in it. So as far as with me is not taking my kids through that trauma. It's what's the word I'm gonna use? I want to have my kids have stability. I didn't have stability growing up. Like, just as simple as far as coming home and having a desk to do homework, or having to set up structure, timing, or someone to help you with that. My daddy was probably busy selling dope or pimping or snorting powder, or in the midst of all that, he came, make sure I ate, took care of me out on my basketball games, certain stuff or whatever. But in the midst of all that, this was what was going on, and I seen all that. So it's like, with that comes trauma, instability, because you're all over the place. You being watched by other people. There's different things come with that. So with my kids, I want stability, and so that's what I'm working on. I'm not the best at it, and I'm actually working on that to be better at it now. I see some similarities, not with the stuff he was doing, but just as far as me being so mentally wrapped up in what's going on in my life and trying to keep my head right or whatever. Sometimes I may be too quiet and may not be talking to the kids. You can be with your kids you can be with your kids all the time, take care of them their whole life, and don't have a relationship with them because of not enough talking, not enough coming home and really knowing, not even really knowing them. It's like you raise them, but you kind of really don't even know them. You don't know what make them laugh, you get what I'm saying? You don't know you probably know their favorite food because you gave it to them, but there's certain things you may not know. You may not know their favorite movie because you in your room and they in their room, so it's things that you need to be tapped into with your kids. So I'm trying to be more attentive to them. Like, they could be with me at the shop, and I'm just cutting hair or whatever, or they on their tablets or phone or whatever, and it's like, now more I'll probably engaging them in conversation or stepping to the side in the middle of my break, chopping it up with them and things like that. So you got to build that bond with the kids. That's what I think.
That's real, and I appreciate you saying that because, I think, I don't have any kids myself right now, but I still have an opinion on the topic because I think, like, one of the interesting aspects that I see in terms of dynamics with parents and their kids is, like, a lot of, like, pressing, like, whether it's, like, doing things like their parents did or not doing things like their parents did, or, back to the sports thing, you always see the parents who, didn't get as far as they wanted to in like sports, and they kind of forcing it upon their, children to do X, Y, and Z and kind of living vicariously through their own kids. And it's like, it's so interesting because like, kids are their own spirits, they're their own consciousness. Like, they are your kids, they look like you, they have traits and things, but at the same time, they're their own people. It's like, just because you created them didn't mean that like you have this, like they're still their own people.
There's authority to make them a certain person.
Right.
Like, you can help mold them into a certain direction that you can encourage them to go in, but if they don't go that way, you can't be upset with them.
Exactly, that's the thing. It's like you can't, be, or you shouldn't, be so upset and down on yourself. You always see like, those stories of children who ended up getting on drugs and things like that, even though like their parents felt like they had a stable situation, but things happen, and it's like everybody's on their own journey of consciousness. But speaking on that topic of kids, I did want to hit on the Bridging the Gap series that I've been working on producing, where basically the goal is to go into these different schools and expose children, expose students going all the way up to high school to different ways and different options of what success looks like and how to get there. So basically bringing in speakers and having workshops dedicated towards, I actually think it's very in line with, what you preaching with your brand in terms of like, you don't gotta be a dope boy to, have money, or even like on the side of like, not even on a dope boy, but like even the college side, like I just want to show that there's so many different aspects to do what you want to do, whether that's going the college route, whether that's being an entrepreneur, whether that's whatever you're doing. There's certain traits that people have that have led them to success in terms of the discipline of working hard, being creative, not doing whatever their friends were doing and following the trends and the waves. Like those are the things that we're looking to expose kids to. And I just want to get your thoughts, having a kid at the Kid Bridge School where you've been doing some of these shows. Just what are your thoughts on like the whole teaching aspect?
I think in high school and school overall, I don't think they prepare the kids for real life. Like they set you up to go to college and to like basically to work for people, which is not bad if that's a dream job you have or something like that. But I feel like a lot of kids don't even be knowing what they want to do. It's just like they hear it over and over, you got to go to college or make sure you graduate so you can go to college. And it's like some of them in their head like, to do what? I don't even know what I want to do. I don't even know what I'm good at. You just get preached to about college or whatever. And it's like, then the financial aid thing with the debt and all that stuff, that's a whole nother thing. I feel like it should be more routes for them in school to learn how to do trades or to learn how to run their own company or just other outlets to learn how to do real life things, even learn how to file your taxes or stuff like that. It's like they make you feel dumb if you don't make it to college, when that's not true. It's like people could not go to college and have a whole plan. You can go be a construction worker, you can have a nice retirement plan or save or stack all your dough, or a barber. I'm a barber. You could be a photographer, a painter. It's all different. A chef. It's all, you can flip houses. It's all different type of stuff you gotta do that you can do that you don't gotta go to college to do. And it's like some people go to college and they be in their third year and they don't even have a major yet because they still trying to figure it out. Or people that drop out and end up doing other stuff and they in debt or whatever. So it's like I feel like it should be more outlets for them to learn other trades and things like that. Like I really kind of don't agree with college unless you have a plan. Like some people grow up as kids and they're like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, stuff like that. It's cool. All right, go to college. You have a plan. That's what you want to do. That's what it takes to achieve that.
Right.
Other stuff, you don't have to. All you need is a high school diploma. I didn't need college credits or nothing like that to go to barber school. All I needed was a high school diploma. And now there's no limit on how much money I can make in a day. I can make $100,000 in one day. And some people may say that sounds crazy, but it's like, what if somebody tip me like that? What if I work 14 hours and charging $500 a heck? Like, you feel me? I'm just saying, like, as an entrepreneur, you have the freedom of your money and how much you're gonna make. It's what you put into it. And when you go to school and you work for somebody, you have an hourly rate. I don't care if it's $100 an hour. That's great. It's great. You're making great money. I don't doubt it, because this entrepreneur thing get rough sometimes when you don't get paid by the hour. It's like you waiting on business or whatever. So it's a cold game. I ain't just trying to make it sound peaches and cream, but if you get paid by the hour, you know exactly how much you're gonna make. It's like you only could work up so high. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah, and it's there's different people on different journeys, people on different paths, and I think that's why, diversity plays such a big key, because the possibilities are endless of what you can do. Some things you may need to go this route, some things you can go any route, something, it's like there's so many different possibilities, but people gotta be exposed to what's out there. And I think like that's why it's important to like, especially for like young people, to not just be in the textbook, or even like, it's one of those, it's crazy because like I was actually I had a thought of like, like when people typically travel, they first thing people do when they travel for the most part is they go on like top 10 things to do in, like San Francisco, top 10 things to do in wherever you at. You look at like the touristy things, you go to those areas. But, wouldn't it be much more effective, get a real sense of like the area and the place if you just like went somewhere and had a conversation with somebody who was from there and just really sat down with them and really just like, tapped in and said, like what's the culture like? Like you think we can go out another time, and just like really tapped into the people and to see like what their experience is like, to really get a full, breadth of knowledge of like what this is about. And I think like that could be applied to anything. That could be applied to like education. You can only get so much from a book. You can only get so much from researching something, and it's good to tap into people who are actually doing it. Have like a circle of people in your network that you can go to about certain, topics and aspects. And I think like those things are key.
I say it all the time. Experience is always best for me. That's just my little thing too. Yeah. But I learn. I can't really learn that much from a book. Like, as far as school, now I learn from a book when it's from somebody else's perspective or whatever. I can take little tabs. But as far as just like learning how to do something or something like that, I can't really learn it from a book. I gotta go get my hands in it and things like that. Like, I didn't learn how to cut hair until I started really messing people up and things like that. So it's like you learn. I learn better by learning what not to do, and it makes it easier learning what to do.
No, that's real. That's definitely a method to go about it. I always ask people like, what's one word to describe you? And before I ask you that question, and this may be your answer, but I definitely feel like just hustle. That word is like, that's like synonymous with you. It's like you always are doing something. You always on the grind. You finding a way to hustle, like just grind. And I feel like that is like true to like your character, who you are. It's definitely like one of the attributes that I admire, in you, that entrepreneur spirit. But what, from your vantage point, like what's one word that you would use to describe your story?
To describe my story, I would say determined. Because, hustle was good, but I wouldn't even give me that one because I wouldn't say I'm the best hustler. And sometimes I may be in a time where I'm bad at it. But one thing about it is I'll never quit. I'll always find the right energy, the right little bit of ounce of strength to pull myself back together and to get back on the horse and keep riding. And that's why it's every season. So I would say determined.
That's real. I respect that. That's definitely a story you have of determination, of hustle, of grind, of finding a way to make your own path and do it your own way, man. So I definitely appreciate you tapping in, coming out here, getting on this podcast one time, man. Is there anything else you wanted to hit on, man? Like something else, a topic?
Yeah, I want to say
one
little story to hopefully motivate somebody to not quit, because quitters never win. So with the every season thing or whatever, like it just didn't get peachy and cream after of like the not playing basketball and becoming a barber. Like it didn't. The barber thing was a whole nother struggle. So after barber, I barely got through barber school. I didn't have no money to get to barber school. I lived in San Leandro at the time. Barber school was in San Mateo. So every day I'm sneaking on BART and Caltrain to get to the barber school. So I barely made it through that. Then after that, you have to pass a barber test. So I ain't have money in barber school to pay the monthly fees. So I wasn't able to take my barber test on time. So once I got out of school, I still had to pay the school $900 before I took my test. So now I don't got no license. I can't really work in the shop. Fortunately, somebody let me work in their shop or whatever. it was like I couldn't just I got 2 kids. I can't just pull $900 out of the hat and be like, I'm gonna pay for this. Like, I still had a living situation or whatever. So in a whole 8-year span, I didn't have my barber license, and that makes it rough in the barber world, because it's like you only can go to certain shops, certain people that's going to allow you to work in a shop without a license, because you can get fined from the state board if you don't got your barber license. So I only could work in certain like little ghetto shops, or it's a couple times I was blessed to work in a cool shop, you feel me, where people allowed me to. But when that situation went bad or something changed or my life changed, I had to move shops or something like that, and I didn't have my license, so it was always hard. So I'm saying all that to say, I failed that test 8 times within the span of 8 years. I done got kicked out of test for the phone. My tripod then broke that hold the doll head on it. I done been late to one, didn't get in. I failed like 3 or 4 of them by 2-3 points. They didn't change it. Remind you, this is an 8-year span. The test changing.
You seen all versions. You seen all versions.
Yeah, I changed all different versions of the test. But remind you, I'm learning certain stuff at the same time. I'm seeing how the barber game changing. I'm going shop to shop. I'm seeing how different owners running a shop. I'm seeing the successful part of it all the whole time. So it's like the people I went to barber school with, they had already had their barber license. They in good situations. The barber game good to them. And I'm like the one that is really not. But that's why quitters never win. You gotta stay on the course. Every season you gotta stay on the course. Within those 8 years, I done failed those 8 times. I even had my own shop with no license and lost it within a year because of no license. But I learned with that. So I'm saying all that to say, just keep going. After 8 years, 4 months ago, I just finally got my barber license.
Congratulations, hey.
And it's crazy. I thought I was gonna do all this celebrating stuff. I mean, I was happy, but I ain't even do nothing. I just found the shop and got straight to work. And now it's like I'm just starting. It's like I'm a veteran rookie. Like, because people who already got their barber license, they ain't looking at it. They don't care about me cutting 8 years without no license. They like, you just got your license, like, you feel me? So that's why I say veteran rookie. So it's like and I still go through it mentally with that. It's like, to me, I'm like, man, I deserve the money, the book clientele right now. I've been doing this for 8 years. Like, I need it now. But it's like, in real reality, I only been licensed barber for 4 months. So I have to slow down and kind of like start over in my mind a little bit and work my way up to I want to be where I want to be. And it's a grind every season. So that was just a little story I wanted to say for the people that quitters never win.
Hey man, you gotta celebrate all your wins though, man. You definitely gotta find something to do, man. Check yourself out, get a drink, something. I don't know, man. Celebrate however you celebrate. When I post this, I want everybody to leave a comment, say congratulations, man. It's big news. So definitely big ups to you. And I think it's dope because it also kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about, you know, having that basketball dream. It's like when you have that goal and you have that vision in mind and you know what you are focused on, you may fail 8 times, you may, you know, but I don't even like using the word fail because it's like with each one, you know, and they're changing the tests and stuff. It's like with each one, you learn something new. With each one, it's another different, unique challenge to it. So I think that it's just a consistent story that you brought up in your examples of not always focusing on where you're at. People always say you gotta, you know, see it to believe it. I feel like you gotta believe it to see it, you know, and it's like you have to see beyond what this is right here. That's what faith is, being able to see. You can't even, you're blind in the future, but you trust that it's gonna get there, you know, if you stay determined, if you stay focused, and, you know, of a higher consciousness above what you're currently going through. So I definitely resonate with that story, with those words. Man, is there anything else you wanted to leave the people with? Or we've already done, like I said, a profile video for you in one of the shops you previously were at that you were talking about. We've done that, you know, interview we had in Atlanta. I have plenty of commercial ideas for you. I would love to, you know, help out on the media side with every season to do something that really shows that message. So who knows, maybe in the future we'll make that happen, collaborate on something, give the people what they want. So tap in, stay tuned for that. But until then, like I said, I just wanted to, I wanted people to get more of a look into what kind of goes on with some of the people in this network, this great network that we have. And you always dropping gems, spitting knowledge, motivation, all that good stuff. So I definitely wanted to capture that on this podcast and just let people be a fly on the wall and just peep game. So I appreciate you, man. It's real. It's love. Hey, off top. Hey, every season. Let's get it.